Hello internet friends, I'm Hardy LaBelle. In this video we're going to be talking about the spawner device in Fortnite Creative. The spawner device acts like a starting point on your island for players who need to enter or rejoin the game. That's kind of self-explanatory. So instead of discussing all the settings on the device, I want to talk about how a pro might use it to make a multiplayer island more fun and more fair. To do that, we have to first learn a little bit about how multiplayer spaces are designed. A good concept to start with is a level flow. In game development terms, level flow describes how players move. Good level flow relies on psychology, art, and game design to give players an intuitive understanding of how to move through the spaces in the game. Levels with bad flow are a confusing mess. Level flow is a big topic, and I'll make a full video about it at some point. But for now, we should just start with one of the most basic concepts, the visual path. All that means is that if a player can see a path, they will intuitively follow it wherever the level designer needs them to go. The next factor for us to understand is resistance. Resistance means that if there are obstacles or dangers in the player's path, they're less likely to go that direction if there are safer paths that are available to them. Those two factors, the visual path and resistance, can help us use the spawner device on our islands like a pro. Let's take a look. Here I created a deathmatch space. It's a simple figure 8 design with two large intersecting loops on a single plane. I placed spawner devices in the hallways, making sure to put some distance in between them. When players spawn, they'll have a clear visual path and no resistance in their way, so they'll flow through the space, find each other, and battle it out. But even with space in between the spawner devices, we can already start to see an obvious problem with this layout. When players are eliminated, they will reappear at one of our spawner devices. But with this design, it's possible for an eliminated player to reappear directly in the path of another enemy before they've even had a chance to prepare themselves for battle. So let's see how we could fix this problem like a pro. Now you can see that I've added two new hallways to my deathmatch space. Both are short, dead-end hallways that run perpendicular to the main flow path. Based on what we already learned, we know that players are less likely to flow down these short hallways because they're not a part of the clear visual path of the level, and also because a dead-end wall is pretty strong resistance. That makes these side hallways an ideal place to put some spawner devices. Next, I placed 3 triggers that are linked to each spawner. The trigger in the side hallway shuts off the spawner device, so if an active player happens to be in there, eliminated players won't respawn directly on top of them. Next, I placed 2 triggers outside the side passages. Each of these turn the spawner device in the side passage back on. That gives returning players a safer spot to spawn from and a better chance to get back into the fun with less frustration. And there we have it, a simple application of the factors that we learned to make good level flow in a couple of simple ways to use devices to make a multiplayer deathmatch space more fun and more fair. If you're a creator, please drop a comment below and tell me how you used the spawner device on your island. Or even better, share your island code so I and the rest of my audience can take a look at your creative work. As always, check the description for links to the Epic Games documentation site where you can find a lot more information about the devices that I used in this video. This channel is made possible by the generous contributions of my backers on Patreon. If you'd like to support my work, please consider joining. The introductory tier will give you step-by-step instructions for building every mechanic that I use in my video, as well as the device settings and helpful how-to tips. The pro tier gives you step-by-step instructions and also an invitation to my Discord channel, where you can chat with me and other passionate creators as we discuss the tips and tricks for creating pro-level content. Thanks for watching. Now, get out there and make a multiplayer space like a pro.